First woman in the history of the fire department to run the fire academy to date.
And I'm born and raised West Side. We don't quit.
In celebration of Black history, we wanted to talk about Black firefighters, past, present, and future.
Don't let nobody tell you that your black skin is not a privilege.
If you can see us, you can believe us, you can become us.
Opposition is what I face so much that I'm used to being in it, so I'm not a coward.
Engineer with the Chicago Fire Department, but also the chairman of the Labor Committee of the West Side branch of the NAACP.
We would document. Documentation means who, what, where, when, how, and why.
Implement, enforce Appendix G.
When she left the Chicago Fire Department, she was making over $400,000 a year.
They paid me that kind of money to talk.
Great job in the world.
What Black people are dealing with right now is PTSD on a different level. Post-traumatic slave syndrome. This job has glory, but it also has a little sacrifice. Repeat after me, your gift.
Your gift.
We'll make room.
We'll make room.
For you.
For you.
A lot of great individuals up here, and it's an honor to be sitting amongst them.
So keep your mind open and go change the world.
I'm Walcott. As DeKalb Northern Illinois University, I was named after a small town in Mississippi, as well as my father. I've been a retired battalion chief. I served 31 years, and I served on various organizations and as head in various organizations. Today, I published Black Heroes of Fire. It's an educational book for young people. You guys will probably get one today. Please read it. It's all true. Story of Engine 21, first black fire company in Chicago, 1872.
District Chief Spence.
Retired District Chief Michael Spencer, 33 years on the fire department. Ran south side of Chicago from Marquette to city limits south, east, and west. Greatest job in the world.
Deputy District Chief Wiley Earls.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Carmelita Wiley Earls, a retired Deputy District Chief of the Chicago Fire Department, the only woman in that particular rank of suppression upon my retirement. First woman in the history of the fire department to run the fire academy to date. First woman to become a fire marshal in the state of Illinois. There's a lot of firsts, and this is what the Black Fire Brigade teaches. When preparedness, you're traveling down the road and you intersect with opportunity, you walk through the door with boldness and your head up, ready for whatever the unknown is, and make a difference. I did not come into this job trying to be the first of anything, but it just happens how opportunity gives you to leave a legacy for people to follow, and I'm sure our next commissioner is sitting in this room.
I'm a Chicago Firefighter EMT. I'm also a member of a very unique class of firefighters called the Lewis class. We are the product of the efforts of our predecessors going forward and fighting for blacks to be on the job. And so I am honored to be here. This job has allowed me to become a renowned, or some say, portrait artist across the city of Chicago and other places. And I'm also a psychotherapist as well, so it's a pleasure to be here. And my whole ambition and aspiration is to promote unity amongst my community, so that's why I'm here.
My name is Louis Walter Muhammad. I'm assigned to Truck 3 downtown, River North, Chicago. I'm from right around the way. I grew up in Roseland community over there on the south side of Chicago, and I'm here today because I didn't have this growing up. I didn't know anything about being a firefighter, anything about these things that was in front of me. So I'm here today to talk to y'all about that.
My name is Javon Murphy. I work at Engine 83. I grew up on the west side, K-Town, if anybody knows about it. You know. I stay right now, I stay in the Hunts. You know, I came over here and I just wanted to give an experience and share an experience with everybody to kind of get an idea that, you know, you can do what you wanted to do if you had the thought process and the dream to do it. Growing up, you don't really get to see a whole bunch of it. You don't get to see a lot of black success. Especially when I was growing up, it wasn't a lot of black success. So just want to give y'all something to look forward to. Know that there's different avenues to achieve and be great at, and just go ahead and do it.
What's your rank?
I'm a firefighter paramedic.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Brandon Hampton, firefighter EMT, coming up on 5 years. I'm assigned to Cabrini Green, Tower out of 10. I just want to say this, that the most important thing as far as affirmation is, no matter what it is you want to do, you deserve to be there. So don't ever let nobody tell you that you deserve to be it. I mean, even the commissioner of the fire department is a woman, so for the young ladies out here, like anytime I see a young little girl, when I'm at the firehouse, I tell her, like, do you know who this is? Show her Annette Nance Hope. You can do whatever you want. Like, you deserve to be in this spot. And it's also, too, don't let nobody tell you that your black skin is not a privilege. It's a privilege to be black.
I am Lieutenant Q, 37-year veteran of the Chicago Fire Department, retired with the rank of lieutenant. I am retired November 30th of last year. President and founder of the Black Fire Brigade. One of the most important things I want to tell you, if you can see us, you can believe us, you can become us. And so what we're going to do is set the pathway for your success, right? So we're going to give you a lot of insight. The biggest takeaway I want to take away from here today is that you got out of us what you needed. Don't be afraid to ask any questions. Don't think any questions are stupid questions, right? It's one thing to listen to a lot of people talk, but if you don't get out of this what you came for, it doesn't make any difference,
That's right. That's
so
right.
use us for your benefit, and we're going to give you a ton of guidance because we know what we're doing, and we're going to help you get where you need to go. All right? All right.
Right here. This is what I hope, how good I look when I can get the age, amen? All right, this panel is about the firefighters past. And we want you to be honest, we want you to be transparent, but most importantly, we want you to be organic and unapologetically black, okay? What was the procedure for becoming a firefighter in your day? How did you feel about it? What was your feelings? How did you become a firefighter? Yeah, I'll start with Mr. Cow.
Okay, I came on, took an exam in 1974. It was announced that Chicago Fire Department was going through a reorganization process by hiring blacks, which Chicago Fire Department never had a history of. So I came on through affirmative action. I was 830 out of 20,000 people, so I would tell others that I was going to get the job anyway. But historically speaking, Chicago Fire Department always found a way to weed blacks out. If they had a class of 100, they may have had 3 or 4 blacks. And so we took a physical agility test, and there was a written comprehension test. So to those of you who are interested in this career field, I suggest that you start an exercise program and maintain it. I encourage you not to use drugs or even marijuana because they don't hire those people. And you need a mentor. Thank you.
Now, a very interesting case study is another 111 plus individuals are. I actually took the Chicago Fire Department test in 1995. And in 1999, we were supposed to have been brought on the job. And fortunately, our predecessors advocated for us through litigation. Our predecessors advocated for us through litigation, which brought us on. So he took the test in 1974. I was born in 1974. I'll be a tender 51 years of age next month, and I'm a baby in the class that I came in. And I'll just tell you, we called hell. Look, I'm gonna keep it real. We called hell getting on this job. I started this job in March of 2012. And so I have 26 years on this job, but this was the greatest opportunity that I've ever had as far as employment is concerned. I have a master's degree that I got 25 years ago, and it's allowed me to subcontract and function as a psychotherapist because I get so much free time. So it's very rewarding. I encourage you guys to look at this career for your future, but it's a very challenging process, so you gotta get a sponsor, just like the chief said. And you're looking at a lot of great individuals up here, and it's an honor to be sitting amongst them. I took the 1985 test, which is the fairest test the Chicago Fire Department has ever given in the history of the Chicago Fire Department. Out of 60,000, I scored number 1,003. So one of my arguments with the department is, why didn't we keep the 1985 exam? Because after we as black men and women scored extremely well in 1985, we were at the top of everything in 1985. They assured that that would never happen again. And so that's why the 1995 had to sue, because they changed all the rules of engagement. They went from the fairest test in the world to a way to cheat us out of everything.
Well, I took the same exam that he took, and I was going through Kennedy King, and I saw a poster, and it was saying that the fire department was about to give the exam. I don't know anybody who's ever been a firefighter or anything like this, so I had nobody to mentor me or tell me what I would experience in doing it. So I just took the test, passed the physical, and got called for the fire department. And as I said before, greatest job in the world. The thing I enjoyed the most was the camaraderie. You know, the job is not perfect. You're gonna run into some obstacles and some racism or whatever, but you know, don't let that define you. You know, don't let them draw you into anything that would make you lose your job by bringing something out of you by being a certain way. So, like I said, greatest job in the world. I like doing a lot of public speaking, so I'm a little uncomfortable, but greatest job in the world.
He does it well. Born and raised on the West Side in 1985, I was eavesdropping on a conversation with my brother and his friends on what we used to call the stoop. You guys not call it the porch. They were talking about an exam that was going to take place at Wells High School the following day on Saturday. And when he came upstairs, I was all excited because I had listened to everything they said. I said, I want to go with you guys when you go. He goes, you're not going, you're a girl. So to the females in the room, you have to know what you're capable of doing and forget what society may try and put you in a box. You are a ball because you can bounce out of one location into another, or you're not made for a box. So that morning they came to pick him up. They left me on the curb. They wouldn't let me in the car. Somebody say, don't piss off a female. Don't do it, because especially a black one. So I got on the Madison bus, went to Ashland, went to Wells High School, took the exam. I want you to know that neither one of them passed. Not one. When destiny is for you, sometimes you are placed in a situation that you may not understand. I wasn't supposed to be eavesdropping on their conversation in the window. But I knew that they had piqued something inside of me that I didn't know existed. So then in doing so, I went and took an exam. Quite frankly, I knew nothing about firefighting. I never saw a woman. There was no women on the fire truck. So it's not like I could see what I could be. That's not the situation. But I took the exam, drew faith, came out, did what was necessary, did well on the exam. So when they called me in 1987, I was pregnant. I had to defer. And then they called me in 88, I turned it down. And then a lady by the name of Linda Turner was at Engine 107. She sought me out. She said, you turned down this job, you don't understand. So that's why it's interesting for you to respect the people that see something in you that you don't even know existed, but you have to trust where they're traveling. So getting on this particular job was not easy. Again, first woman to come in the firehouse, they was like, oh my God. Here we go. We're not built like the men, but I got news for you. We don't need to be built. The only thing you need is to use what's between your ears, because you are very strong, and if you can wrap your head around whatever's necessary, good Lord, there's a Kamala Harris in this room, and you'll be threatened by it. So that being stated, this is the life to live. Chicago Fire Department is a source a resource, not necessarily the source. So keep your mind open and go change the world.
Y'all see? This a panel full of power, huh? This is a panel full of power. So I want to give thanks. We actually have Alderwoman Taylor here in the room now. So let's give her a round of applause. We have the 5th Ward Alderman, Desmond Yancey, here. Let's give her an applause. And we want to say thank you to the things that you all do for the city of Chicago. The next question is,
It takes great courage to sit here flanked by such greatness. I've actually been on top of roofs, and the district chief on the end, Carmelita, is a pleasure to sit here with you. She was my chief, and racism is what led to me coming on the Chicago Fire Department 17 years after I was supposed to. And opposition is what I faced so much that I'm used to being in it, so I'm not a coward, you know. So yes, I've experienced racism, and just to echo your words, Hugh, you know, you overcome, you continue to do what you have to do to persevere. So that's why I'm here.
Chicago Fire Department is very challenging. You say you're a man, you say you're a woman, you're going to get challenged. You say you want to learn the job, that's a challenge. My recommendations to where I came from, we would document. Documentation means who, what, where, when, how, and why. You don't have to share those notes with anybody. So there's a method to the madness for the most part. Yes, I've experienced a great deal of racism. I don't want to tell you horror stories. That's what I don't want to do. But if we can do it, you can do it. So if you have problems and you come on the fire department, document it. Document it. Know the rules, regulations, practices, and procedures. We have numerous books and periodicals, journals, everything that basically runs the fire department. There are rules behind that. Know the rules, know how to read and write, know how to document, and stand up for yourself.
Of course, I didn't have any scrutiny on a woman. That was a joke. But of course, being a woman by nature but professional by choice is what will take you over the threshold of anything. Just know that when I came on this particular job, they were looking at my build, saying there's absolutely no way that she could do this job. What they didn't know is that I was a track star. What they didn't know is that I was a basketball hound. What they didn't know is that I had what's called stamina, that I could run with the best of the thoroughbreds. And what they didn't know is that I'm born and raised West Side. We don't quit. So that being stated, you have the same tenacity running in your veins. Doesn't matter what the world throw at you. You're built for this. Ford had a saying, F-O-R-D, the cars on the street, built Ford tough. You're built black tough. So therefore, when you wrap your head around what you're capable of doing, don't matter what it is, I'm not here to share no particular stories. Yeah, I should have been fired a long time ago. Fighting on the fire department is prohibited. But growing up with 4 brothers, you gotta learn how to stick it boot, champ. So that being said, don't come at me wrong thinking that I'm an easy prey, because you're gonna find yourself being looked at on, you're gonna be flattened. So that being stated, use your strengths. Today you can't do that. You gotta put these down and pick this up. Because that's how we fight and that's how we win. So it doesn't matter what happens to you. The question I have for you is, what are you gonna do about it?
So beautiful.
So if you don't know, Alderwoman Taylor has taken on initiative with the Black firefighters, past and present, on Appendix G. And I'm gonna ask the firefighters, what is Appendix G? And how does it affect you and the students in this room?
I got with me, brother. This Rodney Sheldon, engineer with the Chicago Fire Department, but also the chairman of the Labor Committee of the West Side branch of the NAACP, Chicago.
Can you break that down a little bit? So what exactly do you do? It sounds like you hold a lot of hats.
Well, as the chairman of the Labor Committee with the West Side branch of the NAACP, that's something new to me. Just got elected to that position last month. And that, what brings me to that is the fight that we're continuing on the Chicago Fire Department. I'm part of the Lewis class, which is the historic lawsuit that got 111 of us on the job. And since coming on the job, we've been putting in work and seeing things that continue to go on.
So what? I don't mean to cut you off.
No. Go ahead.
So what exactly is the fight? Can you break down the fight?
So right now, the fight really within the fire department and now has gone on a national level, which we see, and that is trying to take away affirmative action within the workplace. So, and for us, the affirmative action, you will hear the affirmative action policy is also Appendix G. So within the fire service, you will hear always say implement, enforce Appendix G, Appendix G, Appendix G. That is our version of what the affirmative action policy is.
Absolutely. Appreciate you, family. Thank you.
So I'm Alderwoman Jeanette Taylor, and I represent the 20th Ward. In celebration of Black History, we wanted to talk about Black firefighters, past, present, and future. We know that Black firefighters in our community don't get the best of everything, but of course it's like Americans' history. It never treats the folks who actually can do the job the best of their ability right. And so today was important that we show young people in our community what actually comes from our community. I'm amazed that the Black firefighters, past, present, and future, have made it this far, and no other way to support them and definitely talk about our heroes today being the oldest African American history museum in the United States, which is the DuSable Museum. And so I'm just grateful for these brothers and sisters who have come to show our young people they can be all they can be. And I'm just grateful for these brothers and sisters being able to save us, because a lot of things that they didn't talk about was how Black folks are treated when it comes to fire. There's even discrimination when it comes to fires. We don't talk about that 30% of the firefighters are supposed to be Black, and that's not what we see. And so we still live in a racist system, even when it comes to firefighters. And so today was a way to thank these brothers and sisters for sacrificing their lives and for making our community safe.
Thank you. Thank you for your word.
All right.
Thank you so much again, Alderwoman.
Thank you.
Alderwoman Taylor, I've been dying to do my family got background in Taylor. I'm coming out. Damage, particularly in our community, because we were overwhelmingly affected by fires. And at the same time, there was a compromise with Reverend Jackson with Local 2 that he helped mediate the strike between Jane Byrne and City of Chicago, I should say, and the Chicago Fire Department. And we were able to settle on a contract. Because of his success, James Wimbush wrote the affirmative action clause in Appendix G and got it signed off by Local 2, which is our union, AFL-CIO Local 2 union in the city of Chicago. None of these people, we've never had an executive board member voted into Local 2, that's one thing.
There is no reason. Now, the average age for the individuals that came in my class, they're about 60. There's no way we'll ever climb the promotional ladder. I'm not asking for anything I don't deserve, but this is a protection that was put in the clause of the contract to assist when there were areas of discrimination on the Chicago Fire Department, and that's as I understand it. So that's my understanding. Firefighting is controlled chaos.
you have procedures and you have responsibilities on the fire scene, but you can never actually predict which way things are going to go. So it's still to this day, it's very challenging to manage your anxiety. So it's very unnerving.
I can tell some horror stories, but I don't want to scare you, okay? So listen, this is a learned behavior. Firefighting is a learned behavior. From the experience that Carmelita had with drywall falling, hitting you in the head, you still moving forward with a hose line in your hand. Some call it crazy, some may call it courageous, but it's a part of the job. You are trained to do what you do. I have people tell me, look, hey, why don't you go apply for the fire department? I'm not running in no burning buildings. Well, some people are you don't want them on your team. There are some people who are not capable of going into a burning building. And so we're going to draw a line with that. Those people who stand over here, everybody else is over here. So it's just not for everybody because it's just not for everybody. I talk loud sometimes. I try to carry my voice. So firefighting is an excellent career. I came out of the military. The same week I came on the fire department. I had a couple of different roofs to fall in on me, bowling alley in one, garage standing on top of the other one, all within probably about a 9-month period. And this was about a year after I came on the job. So I'm looking at death in the face more than once. And so my contention at that point was that I went home and prayed. My mother asked what was wrong. I was like, look, you know, if something happens to me, you know, and what I was seeing, it didn't look good. If something happens to me, I just want you and my sister to know that I love you. And she said, so the big picture with this is, you're trained for this job. If you have a good officer, he's going to make sure that you're taken care of. That doesn't mean that you're going to evade, get out of doing your job. That's a part of it. But you're trained. So because these people kept putting me in bad spots, bad positions, that forced me to learn the job.
Being a fire investigator in the 1990s, part of my job was to tell the residents who's sitting outside that their loved one didn't make it. This is the importance of immediate activation of the 911 center. Making sure that you as a resident keep flammables away from heaters and things of that nature within 3 feet. It was tough for me. You know, I knew nothing like this. We lost plenty. But what we lose greater is about 100 firefighters nationwide a year. And we do that for various reasons. But what I will tell you is, I stopped eating meat. Can I just be transparent? I stopped eating meat because I got tired of seeing burnt flesh. I started drinking because I needed to get rid of the images. This job is sacrificial. I'm currently walking with a herniated disc, fractured my thumb, have a blown Achilles, a bad right knee, all on my dominant side, and I'm a cancer survivor. What I want you to understand, thank you. What I want you to understand is that this job has glory, but it also has a little sacrifice. Your body, your mind, your family takes a beating. A lot of people are divorcees because you can't go home crying on your husband, on your wife's chest. Oh, baby, I had a bad night. No, you use your family to lean on. It was easy for some of us, especially me, because my husband was a firefighter, so we shared those morbid experiences. But you got to get your mind right. You got to get your mind right, because only God knows what you're about to be exposed to. PTSD is real, that's post-traumatic stress syndrome. But what Black people are dealing with right now is PTSD on a different level. Post-traumatic slave syndrome. Some of us think We come from slaves. The devil is a liar. You come from kings and queens.
Tell them again.
Rulers and leaders. So when you put this uniform on, you're a Superman and Superwoman, because you're coming in your neighborhood and you're going to make a difference in your people's lives. So forget what we lost. I asked you a question last time. What are you going to do about it? We need you. We need you to step into this gap that we have basically vacated. They're still holding down the fort, and you're coming up the rear to get the job done.
I will ask that question. Go for it. Oh,
All right. You see two in the G is we're gonna be raffling off some, so if you don't know, better ask somebody.
My question is, if you were interested in getting into the brigade, but you're under the age of 18, what programs do you have available for children that are still in high school, whether it's a program at the brigade or connected to you guys?
Oh, that's a great question. So if you are 16, we have the drone program. You get your Part 107 license. Does anybody know how much a drone flyer makes an hour? Take a guess. 1,000? No, I'll give it to you. Drone flyer, to fly a drone, you make $250 an hour with your Part 107 license at the age of 16. So if anybody in this room is interested in learning how to fly a drone, we fly drones every Sunday at 54th and Wabash, literally right down the street from here. You're flying drones cost $30,000, $40,000 just for one drone. So that's a program. And then we have 3D printing. So if you're interested in 3D printing, the Black Fire Brigade has those two programs available to you. And if you got any questions, you want more information, Terry Wilson is excited to tell you all about it. She stand back. Terry Wilson, you stand up. I want to recognize Shelton, Firefighter Shelton. And Monica Allen.
You know what? Tell them about the instructor, right?
Oh, yes. Also, in school, you can apply for the CTPFTA class, right? You can do that while you're in high school. You got to be a sophomore. And that's the Chicago Police and Fire Training Academy. And if you want to go through that program, you apply for that through public school and the Fire Academy, and you'll spend half your time in the Police Academy and half your time in the Fire Academy. My advice, if you are a sophomore, please do apply for it. One thing, you're gonna learn some camaraderie, but you're gonna understand how the police and fire department operates.
And they get a point, they get a point.
Yes, and it pays for your college. So if you go to any city college, your college is paid for 100%. Free.
And 1 point on the test.
And 1 point on the test.
Entrance test for the firefighter position.
Hold on, because Alderman Yancey had a question.
Oh, hang my way back.
I'll come with you first.
Exposed to it. They hear about it every day in their houses. Their mother, brother, sister, father, uncle, cousin, nephew are all firefighters, right? So they're exposed, or paramedics. So they're exposed to this kind of opportunity. And so therefore, we're exposing you to the same opportunity. That's my 2 cents.
Why do I think it's slow to bring diversity, equity, and inclusion? The long game is what I talked about earlier. It's called pension. You're taken care of for the rest of your life. Health insurance, vision, and dollars in your bank account that's working for you when you're asleep. The sacrifice I told you earlier, yeah, you're gonna pay big if you really want to do this job right. Stay healthy. Stand up, brother. You see this Mandingo right here? Lord Jesus, how tall are you?
6'5".
6'5". He could be out there playing football. He could have been with the Philadelphia Eagles, but he decided to come serve. Thank you. Come serve his people. Get your body back. Why are they slow to bring equity? Because you may just mess around and be their next leader. That's why they're slow.
Let's see. Boy, age is rough. That's all I can tell you. You know, listen, these fire department budgets, 95% of the fire department budget goes towards salaries. The incomes are middle class and above. Those are the driving forces behind that job. As Carmelita spoke, the pension benefits as well as the income, as well as the other benefits. You're programmed to this. My son is a 17-year member. He grew up in the firehouse with me. We encourage that, establish that relationship also with some of you. Some of you interested in going to the firehouse, let Q know, he'll let me know. We'll make sure you get a chance to go. Maybe the one in your neighborhood where there are no blacks working, right? So the big picture though is, as he said, the fire department has been a brotherhood. It's the last battalion to not be broken in this country. Same individuals are Republicans today because in opposition to you taking their family jobs. And I don't say that, I say that because that's what was said of us, that we were taking their jobs. They said we were going to mess this job up, but believe me, they've done enough to do that on their own. You are our vanguards for the future. Every community has a vanguard. White community has a vanguard. Every community has a vanguard. I don't care where you go in this country. You don't even have to be in the United States. Everyone has a vanguard. The young people stand up and they represent. And that's your job right now. You guys are required to stand up and represent. And if you show up missing, you're going to miss the whole program.
I just wanted to add, free time. The amount of time that you have off allows you, most firemen that I know have dual careers. And so I think that's also something that needs to be considered on top of the fact you have a pensionable job and a significant salary. You have the time, you have the ambition to pretty much do whatever else you want to do.
Actually had a question.
Is anybody up here? However, I'm 6 figures plus. I'm a clinical psychotherapist. I don't want to put the hourly out there, but it's significant. And by God's grace, I've traveled around the nation as an artist. And so my average payment is about $25,000. I could not have done any of this without the Chicago Fire Department. So I'm extremely grateful. And this opportunity is the same one you could have.
Wait, so break down what 6 figure plus means.
We're gonna cover it. I need the authority of this white girls to give me permission to talk about that. Do I have permission? Yes? Okay. Let's talk about, just 2 seconds on this, right? Can anybody tell me what this young lady was making in years before she retired? Take any guess. What do you think?
300,000.
Okay. Anybody else? 600,000. Anybody else? 600,000. When she left the job, when she retired. Now listen to me. Don't miss this, and I'll let her tell you. When she left the Chicago Fire Department, she was making over $400,000 a year. And I'll let her tell you. I asked permission first.
Born and raised West Side. Had no inspiration of being a firefighter. Say your gift. Say your gift. Repeat after me. Your gift.
Your gift
will make room.
will make room
For you.
for you.
Not at the top of the food chain, but being in control when not in control, leading from the back. They pay me that kind of money to talk. Don't tell nobody. $445,000 is what I made in 2021, basically because of an opportunity. When opportunity intersects with preparedness. They needed someone to be the face of a leader on 24-hour shift. Quite frankly, the people that don't look like us did not want to work for the current administration. And I basically vowed to take every day available. You know, he had the opportunity, but he turned it down. Thank you, brother. He turned it down because he wasn't going to put in those particular hours. And that being said, I didn't do it for the money. I did it for the love. We don't work for income. We work for output, making a difference. So that being stated, it will come. If you do it for the right reason, money will come.
Yep.
Now, did I know that it was going to be that amount? No. Do you think when I retired, I would have left that on the table? No. But I had personal choices to make, and money was not my driving force. So that being said, walk through the door. You never know what's on the other side waiting for you.
I'm honored to be on the panel to speak towards the past and the present. So hopefully this leads to future generations being on the Chicago Fire Department as far as my racial demographic is concerned.